Hello everyone, welcome to Chat Club. I'm your host Alan Hilchey. Only one rule in Chat Club, everyone knows it. We all talk about Chat Club. Hi, welcome. We're looking on episode number 27. Imagine, 27 episodes. Pretty stoked. Today's episode I want to talk, I know I put it on my Facebook page, I want to talk about CBD oil. And how I think it's a game changer. And the reasons why I think it's a game changer. I've talked about my anxiety. I've talked about different things I've seen as corrections officer, different traumas, a lot of different things in life, so many different things. So I wanted to take a look. I've been using this for about a month, and I haven't been using it every night. I've been using it sparingly, like when I go to work and stuff. Now, CBD oil, and it has THC in it, and I wasn't going to use it with THC, and I said, it's legal, why not? Let's try this thing out, see if it makes my sleep so much better. Well, a little story. So anyway, I was talking to one of my friends on the telephone, actually two. So when I did take it, I kind of messed up my spray, and I thought I missed. So I did one spray, and I thought I only got a half one. I said, I'm not feeling this very much, so I went and took the second spray. Well, to my surprise, I started to get a little goofy and stuff like that. So, did it make me absolutely unwind? Absolutely. I felt like I was not floating on clouds, but really at peace, and everything slowed down. And I really enjoyed the feeling, because my head usually turns a lot when I go to bed because I'm thinking about bills, work. My work now is not so stressful, but a lot of people's work can be a little more stressful. It was very stressful in the day. I worked 22 years in youth corrections, so it was absolutely very much so very strenuous at times mentally. So this spray, I'm telling you, is a game changer. For the simple fact is, I didn't have to use it every night. And the spray that I used, I got it from Cannabis New Brunswick now. It's called Tweed Penelope. It's an oral spray, so you spray it underneath your tongue. It was about $39, probably $40 with tax. Not real sure, but basically it's a hybrid strain turned into, convenient spray underneath your tongue using non-GMO coconut delivery. Mine had a mint spray or a peppermint oil, so it didn't taste so bad. Costs a little bit more, but I don't know if you've ever tasted weed. It's not the great tasting as everyone thinks. But so one spray was 2.5 mgs of THC and 1.8 milligrams of CBD. What I liked about it was I had a sound sleep. When I went to sleep, I slept. I know for a fact when I used to go to bed at night, my first day of work, I woke up at least 3 times a night to go use the bathroom, just toss and turn. Your head's spinning, you're always thinking about stuff. And it's not that things are bad in your life. Sometimes it's just you're overthinking or you're overtired and that sort of thing. And I found with the CBD oil, everything kind of slowed down and I had tremendous sleeps. And I was quite happy and waking up with very good sleeps, like not tired or anything like that. Solid sleeps, I should say. Very solid. Is this for everybody? No. But I think there's a profound stigma around using CBD oil and THC. I think people think it's a gateway. It's not a gateway. It's not a gateway drug, marijuana. It's absolutely has a lot of benefits to you as a human being naturally. It's natural. It's grown. Yeah, I know you use some stuff to make it a little more potent and stuff like that. But I mean, choose your wheel, people. Like, when it really comes down to it, for years I wanted to use it. In my previous relationship, my ex did not want me to use it. So now that I'm free, I can do what I want. I'm a big boy now. And if you can't find people to support you, I'm not going to get on a rant on this one. What's the good of them if they can't support you? And that was one of the biggest things in my life, I think. With going through what I did, I didn't have the support. The stigma, the image of being, suck it up, buttercup, let's get her going, you're tougher than that. Me as a male, yeah, it can be tough, but I also have breakdowns, and I also have moments where I'm sensitive, and there's times that I have cried. Am I ashamed of it? Absolutely not. These are all human emotions that if we build things up, things get worse. If we don't release what we have, as far as stress or anything like that, then, it's an uphill battle, because basically what you're doing is you need to manage your stresses, and you need to manage everything in a good fashion, like therapy, venting, different things. And there's various things that help you, I call them tools. And of our toolbox, what we've gained over the years. I have an extensive toolbox because I'm a little older, somewhat wiser. Excuse me. But the thing is when you really look at all these different stresses, sometimes you need a little help. Sometimes you need that support. And if you can't find it, you got to find somebody that you can vent to. Because it just builds up, and then you're in a place where you don't want to be. Maybe you do go use. Maybe you can become an alcoholic, or you will abuse your medication, or things like that. And that's why it's important. And that's why I like the CBD oil. And the CBD oil has a lot of benefits, and there's numerous benefits. Is it for everyone? No. People have a stigma around this THC and CBD oil, like it's going to kill them. Well, what about the pharmaceutical drugs that you get in every day? Do you really know what's in them? Yes, it's approved through, FDA or, testing, or the Canadian regulations. Absolutely. But do you really know the side effects of everything when you ingest it? At least with this type of, I would say, different holistic type of therapy with CBD oil and THC. They're regulated, and you see what's on the back of this thing. Like I can read everything that's on there, and it's all natural. It's grown naturally and stuff like that. But when you're talking about pharmaceutical drugs, you're talking about, Oxycontins, and you're talking about different narcotics. You can get addicted to it. But this might be the solution. Do the pharmaceuticals want this thing? Heck no. Because they make more money giving out methadone and different narcotics and different drugs that people get hooked. And these people that are in power do not really care. And they just want the bottom dollar to make sure their stock people, or I should say people that invest in them, stockbrokers and different people that invest in them, are getting their dividends, which mean their profit. So at the end of the day, the pharmaceutical companies are there to make money, not there to help. They're not there. Yes, they do make helpful things, and I'm not saying that they do not. But when it really comes down to the simple fact is, when you're talking pharmaceuticals, you're talking about an artificial thing where they're putting things together. This here is all natural, CBD oil and THC. I think it's a game changer for me. And this is my personal experience, and I've had it for a while. And there's some nights I don't even need it because I'm not 100% sure, but my body is getting used to calming down. So maybe it's something you don't have to use every night. Maybe it's something that you can use a little bit here and there. But, at the end of the day, for me, I honestly think that it's a game changer for me. And do I enjoy it? Yes, I enjoy the sleep very much so. So I just wanted to give a little outline that I've actually used it, because I said I was going to do a podcast on this and talk about CBD oil and the benefits. And, I just want to talk about the effects on me and, basically the information, THC, CBD oil, the benefits, the health line, just the different, there is side effects to everything, but I don't think they're obscene. I just think that if you're in a time of need and you have no other solution and you need to try another thing to sleep, at the end of the day, do you not think the benefits of sleeping? There's a lot of things CBD oil does, can help with seizures, inflammation, pain, mental health disorders, psychosis. If you have the anxiety, and that's what I'm talking about, CBD oil and THC will help with that. And there's a lot of doctors that are prescribing medical marijuana to help with mental health as far as anxiety or anything that you do have as a mental health that can be beneficial. Can help with inflammatory bowel disease, nausea, migraine, depression, anxiety. Now, those are the two big ones, depression, anxiety. Depression, anxiety. Such a huge thing. Now, this is just CBD. Okay, and basically these are the things that can aid in helping. And this is some of the stuff through the States, but I'm sure it's universal with the research, because obviously whatever goes in the States usually comes in Canada. Now we have different regulations, etc. Now the THC is used for pain, can be for muscle spasms, insomnia, which is a huge thing, low appetite, nausea, and again, anxiety. So some of the, these are some of the basic things that are proven to help. Now, depending on how much you do take, like if you take a little spray at night, it's not going to affect you that much. It's going to help with your sleep. But I mean, in Canada, it's legal now, so, but I know in other countries it's not so legal, and you might get drug tested and whatnot. Canada has started this, and I really think it's a game changer. Even if you get into the CBD without the THC, I'm pretty sure that the benefits from it should help with pain, the anxiety, the depression. Because a lot of it, folks, is how you sleep. Like if you get up not rested in sleep, you're waking up in bad mood. And I've done this where I've had like 3 hours sleep and I got to get up and do a 12-hour shift. Am I the happiest person? Heck no. I'm off to get my coffee for the day and to survive. I'm in survival mode. Is it a bad thing? Yes. Will I survive? Yes. But the biggest thing is to manage your depression, your anxiety, and different stuff around your mental health. I would just like to come out and say that I think it's a game changer myself. I think I've found a much happier, better sleeping. I took it last night and went to bed at 11:30, and I woke up this morning at 8:30. I haven't felt better. I went to the gym yesterday, which hurt. So I'm in the gym now. So that's going well, by the way. Thanks for asking. But, sorry, it's my little jokes. But when it really comes down to the CBD oil, I really do think that it's a game changer. And it's the right game changer. And a lot of medical marijuana and different things, if you can get it and you think it's going to help people, it's about you. It's not about what other people think, or if you look bad that you're taking drugs. What's pharmaceuticals? That's drugs. If you're taking medication for anxiety, or you're taking medication for depression and stuff like that. Not saying don't take it. If you're recommended by the doctor to take them, then please take them. But if you're not taking them and they've suggested you to take them, why not try the CBD oil or the THC? The minor doses that you get, it's not like you're getting completely stoned or anything like that. Or, this is something you take to bed when you go. So there's different ways of doing it. There's gummies, there's a drop. I used a spray. There, whatever way you want to do it. There's vaping products, the e-cigarettes. I wouldn't recommend that because it's going to hurt your lungs. So, that's for me. These are all beneficial things and different types of things that you can use. Different tools, different coping mechanisms. But, there's a lot of different benefits to CBD oil and stuff like that for the mind and the brain. So, I just wanted to say on my experience is what it is. I'm not sure, but you talk to your doctor about this, and there's going to be some doctors that are totally against this, and there's some doctors that I know. There's a doctor up in Miramichi that has studied this extensively and went away on a sabbatical and did a complete study on it, and she has come back with some really good information, and she has been a big supporter of this type of therapy, or this type of, this doing something like this to aid in your sleep. There's a lot of benefits to it. So she's fully supported it. Some doctors do not like to research alternative measures. They like to rely on the pharmaceuticals to do the job. But sometimes we have to use our best judgment, and it's our bodies. We take what the doctor says, but I'm going to stress it very, very much. If you need the meds to survive, and it's highly recommended by your psychiatrist, then please take your medication. Don't get off your medication, because that's going to help you with your borderline personality, with schizophrenia, which different ailments in the brain. Like one person said, it's a brain disease, and they're very much right. So I just wanted to have a little quick dig and just talk about the CBD oil. I hope I made a lot of sense. Just telling you, I've had a lot of great sleeps with it. I think I need to have readjust it, because kind of getting used to it. I'm not sure. I'm going to research some other ones to see if there is something more geared towards what I need. Right now, this isn't bad. It's doing the trick. But I will probably look at other things. Like there's Indiga is a very sleepy THC. This one is a hybrid, so I don't know. Not 100% sure what it has in it, and stevia is like the hyper one to keep you awake, THC. So that's all I know, and I've talked to a lot of people, and you wouldn't believe the amount of people that really do use medical marijuana or CBD oil or whatever way to calm their nerves. It's amazing when you sit and have a educational discussion with people, how much they open up and talk about the different things and what works for them. I mean, talk to other people that do use it. And, don't take my word for it. Do your investigation. I'm just telling you from my point of view how it's helped me and how it's made me in a better mood. Sometimes I take a little bit much and I'm kind of a little loopy, but it's not hurting me. I'm going to sleep. I'm not driving. I'm going to sleep. So at the end of the day, I think it's a very beneficial tool if you suffer from anxiety, depression, and have that hard time to go to sleep. I think it's a game changer for me. I absolutely do. I really think that I 100% approve. For me, I say recommend people to try it if they have no other alternative. But I guess that's your choice in what you see. But there's so many different companies, and be sure you're getting it from a reputable source that, they're reputable and they're putting the ingredients. I know on Amazon you can get CBD oil in different spots. So just make sure that you read the reviews, you understand what you're doing, take a little bit of time. It took me 6 months to decide to do this, and one day I just pulled into Cannabis New Brunswick and I went in and grabbed the bottle and asked the information. They're very knowledgeable where I was getting it, and very happy with the results. So at the end of the day, I'm pretty charged about, using this, and I think it helps me a lot. I'll usually take it about an hour before you go to bed, or a half an hour, just so it can soak in. And your first time, just try to use maybe a half a dose instead of using 1.5 like I did. And I'll tell you one thing, it was an interesting conversation with my friends, and I remember it, it's just, sometimes you kind of say a little loopy things, or you sing on the phone, or you do silly stuff. Well, that was me. But at the end of the day, I made some great memories, and am I embarrassed? Nah. I just blame it on the CBD oil and the THC at the end of the day. So that's really all I have to do is talk about the CBD oil. I want to talk about my upcoming episode. I'm going to try to get a panel to talk about mental health in Canada. And I want to talk about it I want to get a bunch of strong, independent women, which that have had different experiences. And I've had them all. 2 of them I've had on my podcast already. One of them I have not, Jen Smith. She's very proactive in her Facebook channel, and I don't want to talk about her because I'll let her explain what she does when I get this all together. I'm very excited about it. Basically, the next episode I want to do is talk about mental health and talk about how it's not a 24/7. Now, what has spurred this on, and it's sad to say, it usually takes a tragedy or an accident to happen or a suicide for people to realize that there's an issue in the real world, and it's sad. And these are the ones that are brought forefront. These are the ones that we know of. So I know there's a lot of different other stories out there, and there's families that are suffering because the lack of mental health services and the lack of seriousness from the government, seriousness that people just go home and take your happy pill, or just go home, it'll pass. No, this isn't going to pass. This is mental health. This is an injury in the brain. This is a brain disease. This is basically somebody needing help. No different than if I had a broken arm and I go in the medical emergency. Because you can see it, you can treat it. No. We need our mental health to be a 24/7 system. We need people engaged. And I'm sorry if you think that Monday to Friday is, the schedule that you want to choose, and I get it. I do shift work. It sucks. I get it. No one wants to do shift work. But if you're going to take in an area that you want to help people and you want to help them get better, I'm sorry, but this needs to be a 24-hour thing. This needs to be an ongoing thing where they have someone in that hospital that specifically deals with mental health, whether it's anxiety, depression, or borderline personality. And we've seen so many young women, and it seems to be, or young men that have had mental health reaching out for help, and I'm sorry we don't have anybody here. They go home and tragic events happen, and I don't want to get into it because we've had one in New Brunswick, and it saddened me that it has happened. But there's so many different stories out there, and I don't want to get into who's right, who's wrong. But I do know one thing: our mental health services, as far as a government in New Brunswick, needs to step up, and they need to step up quickly, because mental health is not going anywhere, and it's being diagnosed a lot more, and people are coming forward a lot more because they're not scared. But it makes me wonder, when you have people that go to the hospital and get turned away, do they go back again? Do they want to go back? Because they feel embarrassed because they get turned away and they don't think they're important enough. And then tragic events happen because they think no one cares. Is that what our society is? Turn away people in our health profession? I don't think that's right. And I think our doctors should be trained more in the mental health. If they're trained broad, then broaden them in there. That help them out with the, I know there's different specialties, but a doctor that does everything should be included in mental health. What do you need to do? How are you doing? And take the time. Or how about hiring a social worker 24/7 in a hospital? Or investing into programs in the community that help out people with mental health. Painting classes, like support classes. There's so many people out there that want to help, that have no money, that can't take it out of their own pocket and do this. Well, how about if we turn this around and invest a little bit into the community, like just doing it and taking proposals and taking it serious, and not have these research grants to determine whether we have it, or do we really need it? Here's the thing. A lot of people are embarrassed of mental health. They're embarrassed of different things. Here I go talking on. But anyway, these are the things that I'm talking about. We don't need a research grant. We don't need to study it. We don't need to do anything. The evidence is out there. The evidence is there on a daily basis. Correctional officers, police officers, first responders, young students that deal with the crisis of growing up that have, not the resources available. You have different things such as, our Medicare, our Blue Cross, just different things. No one specializes in it, and they don't want to pay the money to get the special help. And that's what it comes down to. And it's a sad day when you pay that amount of taxes that you'd rather give money to a welfare corporation than giving it to the people that need it, your own constituents in your own riding. This should be the number one topic. Poverty, mental health, jobs, sustaining our economy. Not giving Irving money or giving McCain's money because you feel bad about the COVID. They're going to be fine. Just go look in who's the world's richest people in the world. Take a little peek in there. Pretty sure that they're okay. I'm pretty sure the people in New Brunswick in the Maritimes could use that money to have a better life. And we're paying them to do a job to get this done. So at the end of the day, where's our priorities? Our priorities need to be taking care of people. That's their job. But if I do something in my job, I have consequences. They don't. They get ridiculed in the paper and it just blows by. So it's just my experience. We need to take a more proactive approach, and we need to get people that invest into and don't fall into the government and the party lines. And we need maybe independent people that go in there and stir it up. Take a chance on somebody that is trying to do the best and come out there and say that. That's my biggest thing. When you see politicians and they talk the right thing, people are going to talk. It just seems like it's blue and red all the time. And we need to have that other different voice, maybe. Take a chance. We've tried the other ones. We tried the purple and the greens. I don't hear any voices out of them. In my province, I can tell you that. And they're just being quiet, collecting their money like nothing's going on. What are they really doing? What's the real issues? French and English in New Brunswick. One of the Green Party's members thinks we should all be French. There's no bilingualism. I'm not going to get into that, but alright, I'm done. So that's my next episode I'm looking at, is trying to get 3 fantastic, independent, strong women that fight for mental health non-stop 24/7. I think it's amazing. I'm just going to sit back and watch the conversation. I've got Jen Smith. I'm going to try to get Natalie Way. And I'm going to try to get Tracy Underhill in one room. And we're going to talk about mental health. And we're going to talk about the experiences. And Natalie has navigated through various things on my episode number 11, I do recall, about mental health and how she had challenges to get her daughter the services that she needs. By the way, her daughter's thriving because of her mother and Lola doing what she does. Secondly, you got Tracy Underhill, life coach. Fantastic lady. And she drew on her experiences about what she did and how she navigated through her own journey and now helps other people navigate their trauma and their needs and how to find the right tools to help them get to goals that they want to get. Jen Smith, my Jen. She is so fiery. Very fiery. So that's my next episode. It either will be 3 of them or it will be Jen and I. I'm not 110% sure, but I know for a fact that I will be doing that. So I'm Alan Hilty. This is Chat Club. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this session. And I look forward to talking to you really soon.